die for something he's not fit to live. A nation or civilization that continues to produce soft-minded men purchases its own spiritual death on the installment plan. An individual who breaks a law that conscience tells him is unjust, who willingly accepts the penalty of imprisonment in order to arouse the conscience of the community over its injustice, is in reality expressing the highest respect to the law. At the center of non-justice stands the principle of love. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor, it must be demanded by the oppressed. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps penetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating with it. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Never forget that everything Hitler did in Germany was legal. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. The first question that the priest and the Levite asked was, if I stop to help this man, what will happen to me? But the Good Samaritan reversed the question, if I do not stop to help this man, what will happen to him? One final thing, he says, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up to live out the meaning of this creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And that's, read you just the first part of this here that I spoke of a little bit last year, and it's still going on today, that all men are not created equal. Abortion is a national tragedy that has invoked the just wrath of God upon our beleaguered nation. Isaiah 59:14 accurately depicts as precarious state, justice is turned back, and righteousness stands afar off. Keep in mind that it is righteousness that exalts a nation. For truth had fallen in the streets, and equality cannot enter. George Mason, founding father, then contended against the abomination of slavery in his day, warned, as nations cannot be rewarded or punished in the next world, they must be in this. By this inevitable chain of causes and effects, providence punishes national sins by national calamities. So I just want to remind you, I'm really happy to see the children we have today, and I've seen a small one out here braving the cold, but it's the unborn that's in the mother's womb that is being killed today, that should be free as God intended to walk on this land. And we need to stand up for the unborn. We can have the ability to speak up for all of us, and we need to, as Martin Luther King said, we need to speak up for others. His cause, I think, was not so much political as it was for those that was being persecuted and injustice was being stomped on and trying to put out. But I just want to remind you that there's abortion going on every day. 4,000 people, black, white, whatever color you may be called, but there are people who are being killed every year in America. And we need to stand up for the unborn. And in Charlotte this Friday, there's going to be the remembrance of the Roe versus Wade coming up at 11:30 in Charlotte. So I invite you to come. And I ask you to stand up for each other, stand up for the unborn. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Appreciate that. Come up, Sister Hamilton.
As we celebrate the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, let us remember that God created us as people of free will. God could have made us do everything that was good, but He wants us to do what's right. So in your decisions, remember, we are people of free will. We can choose to do what's right, or we can choose to do what's wrong. And it's always somebody going to do wrong. Thank you for coming, and God bless you.
Thank you. Sister Hamilton, come right on. Mr. Russell.
How are you?
Ken.
I have a verse I would like to say that expresses what Dr. King stood for. Someone must mix the mortar. Someone must carry the stone. It is only by building a roof for the needy or building a house for a king. It is only by working together we will ever accomplish a thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Wayne.
Hand me that mic.
Hand you the mic. We can do that. Right.
I've heard it that I've heard that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So I'm last, okay? And I also understand that there's another famous saying that goes, stand up and be seen, speak up and be heard, shut up and be appreciated. It's cold out here. The remarks that I had for today will not be spoken here today. I'll put them up if you look on Facebook on Lincoln County News. It'll be there. You can read it there because we need to get out of this cold.
Well, that is true, Wayne, but I tell you this, for what Dr. King and those suffered for us, this is of little consequence here. Just to be out here today is a testimony. Thank you so much. Sister Foster.
Thank each and every one of you for coming, and at this time we would like to say thanks to the following: to the Lincoln County City Council, to the Lincoln County Board of Education, which is led by Dr. Sherry Hall, Lincoln County Development, Community Development, Brad Guth and staff, the Lincoln County Commissioners, the students of Lincoln County, the Lincoln High School Band, and all of the citizens of Lincoln County. Together we stand, and divided we fall. And we know that love can conquer all things.
Is the band going to do another selection? They will close us out. All right, we're ready for the band. Let's give them our attention here.
Did you on me?
Yeah, put it on Facebook.
Okay, do it. Do it. I'll look it up tonight.
Okay.
Huh?